Great seeing you again. We had a chance to talk a couple years ago, right when Iron Man 3 was starting, at a Comic-Con. Then I saw you again. Yes. And then again at the red carpet premiere at Iron Man. What a journey you've had. You know, I've read, I'm not how true this is, that you're an avid reader. Mm-hmm. And I understand that one of your favorite films is All That Jazz.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that film, Roy Schneider by Bob Fosse. And I was curious, you had said that was a film that you draw on. Are there particular books that you draw on for inspiration? I know you've read so much.
Yeah, you know, there's an aspect of just storytelling, which I think you get from movies, but you get more thoroughly from reading books over a period of time. And you have to, not just the classics. I'm fond of literature, mainstream and otherwise, but I have to say a debt of thanks to people like Stephen King, for instance, who kept me sane in high school, who I could retreat into his stories and just find that storytelling instinct for him, which what he said about himself, he's described himself as the literary equivalent of a Big Mac and fries, but what I think that means is he knows how to get you to turn the page. But before anything else happens, he starts to tell a story and he tries to hook you and make you turn the page. And that's sort of what I draw on, is the principles of just what happens next and how do you get people to care about the story they're watching. And then there's all the other, you know, just absolute inevitabilities of having read a book a day, a book a week since I was 8 years old. And all those things, you know, that I can finally now hopefully bring to light on the screen by revisiting some of my childhood favorites, trying to reconfigure them and get them made into movies. I'm doing the best I can to sort of revive as many of those old favorites as I can possibly do.
You know, I'm curious, as you write a script, is it more like writing a novel than it is a script? You know, is there, you know, that creativity behind it?
Yeah, I think writing a script is a very specific skill. A lot of novelists who are really wonderful cannot, for instance, write a coherent screenplay. But beyond anything else, the problem is the time constraint. Always being aware of the pages ticking by, and you never think you can fill 120 pages, and then suddenly you're on page 9 and you realize you don't have nearly enough. And so what I'm attracted to, and what I love, is this format of the 10 or 12 hour miniseries like House of Cards or you know, Game of Thrones, where they can just let it play out and do all those things. I'm just so thrilled lately with watching non-network television and getting into Breaking Bad and shows like that.
Shane, you know, thank you for something. You know, quick question: is there any other little project that you can let us know about that we can be the first to know? How's Doc Savage going? Anything like that?
Doc Savage, I'm scribbling now along with my partners, Anthony Bagarozzi and Chuck Mundry. We sit in this torture chamber in my room, surrounded by the dogs, and we just eke out this thing. It's so hard. It's so frustrating, but we're just page by page just trying to nail it. Then we've got Death Note, which we want to do, and I'm very interested in this project called The Destroyer at Sony, based on a series of books from the 70s. And then I just want to do something small, too. I hope that somebody gives me a chance to stay in the game and keep making movies because I love it so much. And I'm really flattered by the tension and the interview, and I thank you.
Thanks again.